go through our today's problem, longest palindromic substring. It says we're given a string S, we need to return the longest palindromic substring in S. What does it mean? Substring, it's a contiguous character sequence in a given string. And palindrome, that means it should read the same from backward as it reads the forward. So if I take an example of this given input BABAD, so this B, a single character, is a palindrome and it's a substring. BA, it's a two character, but it is not a palindrome because it doesn't read same as backwards. BAB, this again a substring and it reads same as backwards. So BAB, both are same. So it's a valid substring. So far my length is 3. Then if I go to BA, it's not a palindrome at all. Similarly, there is another substring which is ABA. So we can return any of the valid answer, which is of the maximum length so far in the given whole string. So how do we solve this problem? One way would be like go through all the substrings in the string, which means starting from this index and then first BAB, D, and then start from the second one and repeat. It's all through entire character sequence. So this would be like n square, right? We are computing the substrings. And then for each substring, we need to compute whether that given substring is a palindrome or not, which is again, we'll compare whether this is a palindrome, which is again a linear scan. So overall, it would be big of n cube, which is not so good. So how we can solve this problem? Let's just think about for a moment. If we have just one single character given to us in a string, it will always be a palindrome. It will always be a substring. That means the length would be 1, and that is the longest length so far. That is the answer for it. So if we have two characters, then we just have to match whether the index 1 matches index 0. If it does, it's the longest so far. Otherwise, there's no palindrome, just a length 1, so we can return either A and B. Now, if we think about 3 characters, is it a palindrome or not? So for that, we need to say whether the first and the last match and the middle portion we can ignore. It doesn't matter. It could be B, it could be C for triplets. Then we have, let's say, B, A, B. For a 4 character again, first and last should match, but this cannot be a palindrome so far. Why? Because it could be something like BADB. Even though first and last match, it's not in palindrome, which means for a given substring or for a given string to palindrome, if the extremes match, it also means the substring within those endpoints should also be a palindrome. So which means again, for a single character it is. For a double character, again, the case is both should match or both should not match, which we just solved here. So you see, it's a pattern kind of thing. So if we just try to do something like B, A, B, A, D, and here as well B, A, B, A, D, is B, if my start and my end is C and B. So is it a palindrome? It is true. Let's just mark it as star. This doesn't matter because this is our left is more than our right. So AA will also be a palindrome. Then this also will be a palindrome. D will also be a palindrome. So if we are starting with 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, all those are palindrome because these are one single substrings B, A, B, A, D. The individual strings, these are very, very much palindromes and of length 1. Now if I go to B and A, I just need to check whether these two match or not. These two doesn't match, so let's just give it a underscore. Now to check BAB, I need to check BAB, right? So does that BA to check this BAB, my right is B, my left is B. So this left, this right definitely matches. Is it a palindrome or not? So for this, we already computed it, right? This is already a palindrome, so I can just say yes, it is a palindrome. Now now let's just compute this one, A and B. A and B is a two characters. Does A and B match? It doesn't. So now I come here, B A B A. So my left is B, my right is also B. Let's just make it B. Even though these two matches, but my internal substring, which is already computed A and B, it doesn't match, right? So there's no point of comparing these two as well. So got the idea, right? So to compute whether this B and B, let's just give it a B, whether this B and this B matches or not, we need to know whether the computation which is beneath that, which is this, should already be computed. Then only we can say these two match or not. So this is the repeated pattern where find the extreme whether they is forming a palindrome or not. We need to check whether the internalized string within those endpoints is matching or not, is a palindrome or not, which we already compute once we build this, let's say, table. So we can build it from the downside up, right? So where we'll say, okay, D and D, they do match. And to compute this, A and B, we need to check whether this is a palindrome or not. This is not a palindrome, we just say star, it doesn't match. And since A and B are two characters, right, we can just do whether these two match or not, and these two doesn't. Now to check whether this point is a palindrome or not, we need to check, okay, this is the palindrome, but however these two doesn't match, so this will also not be a palindrome. This way we can build our table. So let's just go through that. So we need a table where we'll say we'll store true or false. So boolean dt, it's a two-dimensional table. So boolean, let's just give it a size, which is the given length of your string. And now we need to say we'll start from the last row, which is size -1, till the very starting row. Then also we'll start from the last column, which is again size -1. So you see, it doesn't matter the left parts of the diagonal, right? So we can just loop our column should be greater than equal to our row. Here we can say if row is equal to column, that means it's a one character substring, that will always be true. Else, if my row column will be more, right? So column minus row plus 1 greater than, okay, if it's equal to 1, which means it's a two characters. And then I can say if s dot char at that particular column is equal to s dot char at particular row, or we can directly say something like dp of row column is s dot char at row is equal to s dot char at column. So now else it's more than two characters. So you need to look a character row below that, which would be dp of row plus 1 and column minus 1. If that is true, it will be already computed for this particular computation. If this is true, then only we need to check again this thing. Or we can directly do something like, or this is equal to true. Otherwise, we can say this is false. Now we need to compute the maximum length, right? So let's just give a maximum length is initially 1. And if my dp of row column turned out to be true, my max length would be column minus row plus 1. If max length is less than my current max, I'll update my max length. Let's just also keep pointers to initial position. What is that substring itself? So there my low would be row and my high would be column. And then at the end I can just return as dot substring low comma high. Let's just test it out. Then it should be outside this follow. And the answer is A B. The expected is B A B. We are treating high is equal to column. Okay, Java substring doesn't include the last index. Let's just give it high plus 1. Okay, it's doing. Let's just hit submit and see. Okay, so it's passed. Yep, that's about it. You can actually reduce the size of this, right? It says memory is too much. We can maybe do it. We just need the last 2 rows for that. Just these 2 would do, or any 2. So that means we just need of 2 row and this particular size. We can do something like in current is equal to 0, int next is equal to 1, and then at the start of each row we'll just flip it. Current is equal to next, and then we can just say next is equal to my t. So to do that, the row would always be your current, and to compare we'll look for the next my current, and if my current is this, my current is this. Let's just give it a run. Just hit submit. If now it's far better. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.